Let's now kick it off with our featured story of the day and discuss Max Keiser's prediction of the Bitcoin price hitting 375,000, which is the implied hash rate adjusted price, according to the high priest himself. So let's break down the latest from Max Keiser. As you can see the headline, Bitcoin maxing advisor to El Salvador's president, Bukele, Max Keiser predicts that the Bitcoin price will hit $375,000 per coin. And we know he is up 20 million% profit on his stash. He accumulated a Bitcoin since 2011. So here's the deal. He noted that the price of Bitcoin has been trailing behind the increase in the hash rate, which continues to break new all-time highs. The hash rate is ultimately the difficulty adjustment. And concurrently, he suggested that the targeting and takedown of competitor Binance CEO, CZ, were orchestrated, let me know if you agree with that, by the major Wall Street players, aka BlackRock. Keiser believes that the current surge in price is aligning with the implied hash adjusted price of $375,000 per coin. The anticipation expressed by the Bitcoin enthusiast, Max Keiser, aligns with the sentiment of Galaxy Digital CEO, who envisions Bitcoin reaching the previous highs of 69,000 upon the ETF approval. That's Mike Novogratz. He further anticipates a substantial influx of billions of dollars into the ETF industry within the initial year of Bitcoin's ETF trading. Novogratz also recently came out and shared he believes that the Bitcoin price will hit $500,000 per coin. This is pretty bullish. Now, Max has also hinted at a God candle, which I've been covering for the past week on the channel. So I didn't want to make that the core focus of today's show, but he has been saying we can see a $100,000 surge in the Bitcoin price in a single uptick. We renamed that the Keiser candle because typically the God candle is only 10,000, just FYI. Keiser suggests that the unfolding of this God candle scenario will be nothing short of shocking for the global audience. Now, in crypto, the God candle is typically characterized by a $10,000 increase, hence why we've been now calling it the Keiser candle. Here's the initial tweet. A 100,000 God candle is in play, a 100,000 uptick of the Bitcoin price. This will literally shock the world, and the Bitcoin singularity will be upon us. And he's ultimately saying that the nation of Qatar is sitting on a $500 billion, which is $500 billion, and they're looking to convert that into Bitcoin, which would clearly be massive. And reading this tweet out loud here, the Bitcoin price was lagging behind the rise in the hash rate while the competitor CZ and Binance was being targeted and then taken out and taken down at the behest of the large Wall Street players. The price rise now is catching up to the implied hash adjusted price of $375,000 per coin. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that sentiment from the high priest. Now, additionally, Keiser also flexed the massive profits that he has been witnessing currently on his Bitcoin stash. Keiser emphasized he has been maintaining a Bitcoin holding since 2011, recognizing the immense latent potential of Bitcoin to revolutionize the world. He initiated his Bitcoin purchase 3 years after the creation of the first Bitcoin block and 1 year following the public disappearance of Bitcoin's creator. Can Max be Satoshi? What are your thoughts? Now, Keiser tweeted that Bitcoin holdings have seen a remarkable increase of 20 million% since 2011. Christ's sake. Wow. I am up 20 million% since 2011 with my Bitcoin, as he shared on December 4th, about a week ago. This was because someone was flexing saying, why do some Bitcoiners act like spoiled brats about gold? And with Mad Max being the worst offended, I'm up 50% of my junior gold mining stock. So Max is like, come on, guy. 50%, I'm up 20 million%, big dog. Let that one sink in. And although he has not officially disclosed the specific amount of Bitcoin he possesses, I'd love to know, how much Bitcoin do you think he's holding? According to Alex Jones, when he was on his show recently, Alex is like, Max, I know you're sitting on over 1 million Bitcoin. That would mean he owns as much Bitcoin as Satoshi himself, as Satoshi's wallets are estimated to be at 1.1 million Bitcoin. So do you think that Max can potentially be Satoshi or holding as much Bitcoin or potentially more as Satoshi? Let me know your thoughts. And FYI, Max announced just the other day on X he's going to be returning to the Alex Jones show. I'm looking forward to that episode. I'll be keeping you in the loop. Now, nevertheless, it is evident that, like many early Bitcoin adopters, Keiser has amassed a significant Bitcoin portfolio and emerged as an outspoken Bitcoin maxi over the years. We call him the most toxic Bitcoin maxi ever. Shout out to Robbie P. Epic track, by the way. Bitcoin experienced a remarkable surge of over 60% just since mid-October. That was when Mr. Jim Cramer said, Mr. Bitcoin's going down. Yeah, take that, Inverse Cramer. Fueled by speculation about the SEC's potential approval of the ETF apps from major players like BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager. And as of Wednesday, we just hit, actually just the other day, I would say it was yesterday or the day before, we just hit 44,750, so we're on the cusp of reclaiming 45,000. In November, the combined trading volume for both the spot and derivatives on centralized exchanges witnessed substantial 40.7% increase, reaching 3.61 trillion. This figure represents the highest total combined volume since March, according to data from the researchers CC Data. So there you have it, my crypto fam. Right now, there's roughly $25 trillion in assets under management, just collectively from the 13 asset managers that currently have their application for the spot ETF to be approved by the SEC. How much of that 25 trillion is likely to be ushered into the King crypto once Bitcoin is recognized as an asset class, which will be officially when the ETF gets the approval. Now run the math, and here's some food for thought. BlackRock last year in 2022, they published a study, and in the study they said the recommended portfolio allocation from BlackRock is 84.9% into Bitcoin, roughly 85%. So they're recommending that people allocate 85% of their portfolio into BTC. What's your thoughts on that? And what if they actually did what they said they recommended? What would that take us? Holy moly. And imagine, because they're the largest asset manager, so whatever they do, everyone in the world is watching, and the other asset managers are likely to do the same. They're the one that started this domino effect. Bitcoin game theory in full effect right now. What if instead of 1% into Bitcoin, these asset managers like, yo, let's start with 10%. Let's get to 85. We know BlackRock's going to trend towards 85. Clearly, there's not enough Bitcoin in the exchanges. Clearly, there's going to be a supply shock, but this is beautiful. This is game theory. We also have nation states. Max, I've been sharing all throughout the week. He says countries such as Russia, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Iran are all looking to do business in Bitcoin. And he said Qatar can usher in the 100,000 Keiser candle, taking us to 150,000 in a single uptick. Could you imagine that? What are your thoughts, fam?